Porinju joins us now. Let's take our conversation forward and let's connect with them. Porinju, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Nikunj.
क्या होने वाला है आज?
Nothing much to happen today, but markets always will have that euphoria. A lot of people who were misguided by some media, maybe they had a doubt that whether the regime will continue. Anyway, the the exit polls indicates Mr. Modi is coming back for a third term. There is no doubt about it. And to my mind, I think it is really inevitable and deserving for Mr. Modi to come back and guide India with his larger vision, and the plans for India for next 5 to 10 years and maybe more. So that way, I think the most people in the market, knowledgeable people, were all expecting this to happen. And I think the short position of FIIs, we should not give too much importance, except for the very short term, there could be some covering. But it's only minuscule of their total holding in India, bet on India in the equities. So that way, I think they also will be happy for the market going up. So need not worry about FIIs, I feel.
Indeed, Porinju, it looks like what the exit polls are suggesting is a resounding win for the current NDA government. While, of course, this isn't the final outcome, I think what Nikunj has also been suggesting through and through is that what the markets are looking for is a sense of continuity. And with what the exit polls are suggesting, if that would be the leaning toward which it would go toward, how do you expect the markets to pan out in the medium to long term?
Yeah, market is not looking for just continuity like perhaps in the earlier decades. Market is looking for continuity because the last 10 years for India was fantastic. Modi government has created a fantastic base, a platform for India to grow at much, much higher levels and achieve our ambitions. So that way, I think it's definitely, for some people, it is like they are comfortable today because of the exit polls, but most market participants have been very sure about this. The only doubt was whether it is 300 seats or 320 or 350 or more or 400, whatever it is. So that way, the continuity is sure. This leadership and the political stability is very, very important at this point of time. And we have got it. And everyone is happy. Those who are having political differences, mostly, misguided by fake narratives and, misinterpretation of things happening. So that time is over. We are ready for the next 5 years and 10 years with a fantastic growth. Many of us, many analysts have been talking, India is like China, which was, a decade ago. So that is something very exciting for India. The reason why we have a high valuation metrics for the overall market, and that high valuation, or I would say rich valuation, will continue to be there, except for the some small ups and downs. I would also say if there is a euphoria happening next 2-3 days, investors should be a bit careful. There is no need of really participating at the fag end or whatever. There can be market will come back to normalcy after a few days or whatever. It may go to 24,000, 25,000 Nifty. I don't know. But whatever that, it will again come to reality. Everything will depend on the earnings growth of corporate India. And there is very, very reasonably good visibility over there. And there are good sectors, exciting sectors, which are already well priced. So then again, you have to be very choosy among those sectors which stock is still offering value. So it's going to be a very interesting time ahead. There will be a lot of volatility. At the same time, for the long-term investors, see the long-term trajectory for India's economy and Indian stock market. It's very clear. It is very bullish. Equity will continue to be the best asset class. Indian equities, if you see any asset class in the whole world, not only in India. So that way, there is going to be, more and more fancy for Indian stocks. I expect more and more FII inflow into the market in the coming years.
Absolutely, Porinju, that's the other thing. Whether you buy more of the same, if at all you booked profits and were sitting on a pile of cash. But like you said, most of those PSC names or PSU names have already run up. Do you think, Porinju, it makes sense now to look at some of the large FI ownership stocks, your large caps, which haven't really moved or participated in the rally so far?
Yes, on the budget day, Nikunj and we had a conversation. So I was mentioning about, the oil and gas sector in PSUs. It looks very attractive. And it is, most of them are trading at, single-digit Ps. And of course, there are a lot of uncertainty. People even fear about, political policy. The decisions could be against these companies because of, managing subsidies or whatever. But I feel the dividend yield of these companies from 5 to 10%, and their earnings are going to be better, if not same. And this is a sector like the ONGC or IOCs and HPE, BPs of the world. There can also be one thing, that there can be GST happening on the oil and gas, the petrol and diesel sales. So I think BJP government has indicated that earlier. So this third term of Modi, I won't be surprised. Of course, this is subject to the GST Council approval and discussion. I believe this could happen in this third term, and that is very good for more stability and same price across the country, and that could be very interesting. That will be helping these oil marketing companies and even oil producing companies, to be more stable in the earnings.
Thanks, Porinju, for joining in. Political stability is very important at this point. That's the word coming in from Porinju Veliyath. Let's connect.